So I'm just checking if it's not set, I'll just die. At this point I say category not set, or the category ID not selected. Okay, so in case they did not send us what, and category ID will not proceed from here. So now here we are going to delete the category. I can just get it even in an ID equals category. Now here there are things that we have to put into consideration. What are the things that are going to be affected when we delete the category? First of all, the first thing that is going to be affected, or other tables that are going to be affected, the first one is the product table. Okay, product table, because product will depend on what? In categories. So if you delete a category that is having a table, I mean if you delete a product that is depending on a certain category, you'll find a problem like the product will be an orphan. It will not have a what? It will not have a what? You don't have a category. So you have to find a way. You have to write a logic. Like you may not. There are different ways on how you can handle that. The first way, you can say that I will not delete any category which is having a what? Which is having a product. Another way, you can say that all the products that are having a certain category, I'm going to assign them to a certain category. Another way, you can delete also the products that are belonging to that category. So, Musa, what is the best way if you really follow?
Okay. To do what?
I've been. You say that you're following. I've been explaining something.
Yeah, I'm following. I'm following. I'm also talking about deleting of products.
So if you delete not product category. So if you delete a category, what will you do? Or what are other tables that are going to be affected if you delete a category?
All the tables that are having some information.
Like what?
Category, they are linked.
Like what?
Like let us assume. No, let me not explain based on my own project because I don't know what is your project mostly comment of this. Example, mine is book. Okay, if I happen to click a category, even the table book is going to be affected.
Because it belongs to what? To a certain category.
And they are also connected.
So when you're deleting the certain category, for example, having science books, what will you do to the books that you had put in the category of science? What will you do to them? Will you delete them? Will you leave them with no category? What will you do?
Like the only thing which is missing, like let us assume, is only category which is missing.
So you're going to have, okay, your books will be in categories. Books of science, books of chemistry, books of physics, books of, now what if you delete the category of maybe of maybe science? What will you do for the books that are belonging to the category of science?
Hopefully you need to create a person where you can just pack some of the books that are not needed or that are not having category.
How will you do that now? That's what I'm asking you.
You need to disconnect the databases. The databases, the disconnection.
How disconnect?
You know there are external
we are speaking practicals, not theory. For example, here I'm going to delete this category, which is having this ID. So what am I going to do for the categories which are pointing at this ID? That's the question. What am I going to do for them? That's practical thing, not theory.
It's what I mean. I mean, if they are having any link in the database, we need to disconnect that.
What do you mean a link?
Like
what is a link in database?
For example, there is an external key that is trying to connect two tables. Okay, when one table is affected, it will affect the other table. So that like external key should be removed.
Then once you remove it, then you delete the category. Now where will the other categories belong again?
That's you are right, man. Because it's only one topic is affected or one category.
So
But
I don't know whether. Okay, I hope you're getting the point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to limit the user. He will not be able to delete the category with ID 1. So that is going to be our my default category. Like for anything that does not belong to any category, I'll be assigning it to what? To ID 1. So if the user deletes a category, I'll check if it is ID 1, it is having an ID 1, I will not allow the user to delete that category. If it is having an ID more than 1, I'll allow the user to do what? To delete the category. Why am I limiting the user to delete the category with ID 1? Because I want to make that ID, the category 1, with ID 1 to be my default category. So when we're deleting other categories, for example, I'm deleting a category of what? Of makeup, okay? So all the things that are belonging to makeup, all the products that will be belonging to makeup, I'll be updating them and set their ID or their categories to belong to what? To the default category, so that they should not remain orphans. I hope you got the point.
I understand now. Let us assume: are you going to create a default table?
Yes,
Because
no, not table. It's just an ID. Category is an ID. So I'll not allow the user to delete a category with ID 1. So that ID 1 will always be my default category. So in case there is a deletion of any category, I mean any category, I'll be checking if there is any product that is having that category. In case it is there, I'll assign it to default category, which is category of ID 1. That is undeletable. The same logic is being used in WordPress. Like there's one category that comes with WordPress called uncategorized. Have you ever seen it?
Uncategorized.
You don't know. Uncategorized category of posts. You don't know it. You just go and search.
So, no, that's it. I
Go. So in WordPress, it comes with one empty category. It's called uncategorized. You cannot delete that category. So what does it do? They put there things. For example, you create a post, you don't give it category, it will be in that category, uncategorized. If you delete a post, even if you delete a category that is belonging to a certain, that was having some posts. So those posts that will belong to that category and they don't have any other category, we get them and assign them to what? To that uncategorized category. But you cannot delete the uncategorized category. Why? Because if you delete it, then the post will be orphan and you cannot use them anyone, but they will be in the database. You're getting the point?
for me, because they are taking us, for example, when two tables are linked in database, like the only way for you to avoid deleting information throughout the two tables is just to, when they are having external key that is trying to connect the two tables, just try to remove the external key.
The foreign key, not external key.
Okay, I don't know the foreign key.
So once you remove it, now in real world, I'm asking you, in real world, what will you do? You're having 10 books in the category of what? Of kids books. Now you've deleted the books of kids. The category of kids. Now where will other 10 books go? Will you delete them, or they will be there with no categories? And if they don't have categories, how will you access them? That's the point. So what do? You have to create one category that you cannot delete. So in case you delete a book, in case you delete a category that was having some books, you get those books and assign them to that category that you cannot delete. You don't understand?
I don't get you.
Allah Akbar. Okay, let me just see. I'm having here category of maybe boys, and under here boys. Okay, I'm having pant 1, and I'm having another product called maybe shoe 2, and maybe I'm having another product maybe called toy, and I'm having another category called girls.
Yeah.
I'm having a product called dress. I'm I'm having another product called maybe shoe also, and I'm having another product called what, maybe maybe doll. Now this is just a category, right? So I delete this category from the table of categories. So where will these products belong?
Okay, so I mean, it's still not really the products. Actually, I never tried this one.
So what will you do for these books or the products?
That's what I mean. I mean, you need to create, for example, there should be.
There should be what?
Like in categories, we always have orders, something like that. Orders. O-T-H-E-R. Okay, we can create people in case whatever is deleted.
Yes,
and still we need it. We can just dump it in there.
Okay, you'll do it. You'll do it and show me your. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to check if I'm getting the category there. I check if this category is equal to 1. I'll just die and say I can make a message and say you cannot delete a default category. So I'll reserve the category 1 with ID 1. Any category with ID 1, I'll reserve it, like you cannot delete it. See?
But now
I don't allow. The point is, I don't allow anyone to delete with the category 1. That's how I will handle it. So when I'll be deleting other products, I'll be deleting categories. I'll be getting all the products that are belonging to that category that we're deleting at that particular time and give it to category 1. So if you want to see the categories that they don't have parents, you just go to category 1 and you'll find it. So you see, you can't delete category 1. But if you come to category 2, let me see. Like now I want to delete category number 2. You can see I confirm. For it is what? Is deletable. So I'll not allow here someone to delete the category number 1. So at that point, now before I delete, what I'm going to do, I'm going to update the table of products. All the products which are having category number 1, or which are having the category number 1, I'm going to delete to update all the products to have, all the products that are having this particular category, okay, that I'm going to delete at this moment. I'm going to update them and make them to belong to category number 1, to the uncategorized, so that I shouldn't lose them or they shouldn't be orphans. Okay, so to do that, I can use the update. We already have the update table. That's the step number 1. Those are the things that I'm going to do. So the first thing that I'll do when I'm deleting category number 1, assign all products that belong to category to be deleted to default category, and the default category is the category with ID 1, okay, because I don't allow anyone to delete a category with ID 1. That's the step number 2. That's step number 1. Step number 2, did you understand now?
Yeah, I get it.
I'll delete, I'll make sure that I delete all properties of category. Okay, so step number 3, I'll delete the properties. I can leave them. Yeah, I'll delete the properties of that category. As step number 3, I can delete what? I can delete step number 3, I can delete now the what? Delete the category itself. Delete the image of the category, delete Photo, category photo, because if you don't delete it to remain there, redundant. Step number 4, delete what? Delete category itself. Here is the step that we'll take to delete the category, according to me. So we begin in number 1. I'm going to update the table of what? Of users. I mean the table of categories, and assign the category that are belonging to that table to category 1, because I don't allow anyone to delete category 1. So we have this is just update, right? It's just update logic. Okay, so we have the function that can update. We already use it here. So where is it? Update. I think we're using it here. Add category here. It's called db update. Just going to copy it and come here. So step number 1 is to update the what? To update the table of products, and make sure all the products to have the category 1. So how will I do that? I'll just simply come and get the name of the product table. Where is it? I'll make sure that it's correct. So I'll come here, it's called products. Okay, so I'll get the products table, which is here. So I'll make sure that, so it is going to be update products. So the data is going to be, I'm going to just make an array. The data is going to be, what am I going to update? I'm just going only to update one thing, which is the category, product category. So going to be product category, set it to be what? To be 1. So all the products which are having category, all the products that are having this category is going to have 1. So the condition is going to be, so I'm setting the condition where, and this condition is going to be where the category is equal to the category that you're deleting, and the category that you're deleting is called ID, like this. That is the first step, number 1. Did you understand? I'm going to update all the products which are having this category.
Are you recording? Hope you don't forget.
To have 1, try to follow. So I'm putting the condition where all the products category is equal to this particular category. That is the condition. So that is I'm updating the products table where this is equal to this, and I'm updating all the category. I don't change anything, only the category what? The category ID to be having that, and the category conditions equal to that. So I'm going to delete it. Okay. I also have to, instead of deleting the properties of this category, I'll just update them and change those properties to belong to 1. Because if I delete them, then the values of those properties will be orphans. Okay. So instead of deleting, I'll update them also, their properties. Okay. So I'm going to come here and say update. So I'm going to check if it is running well. Echo the pre tag. Done. So I come and refresh. And if I have to include the function require once. Okay. So I'm going to put here require once the functions file. So I come and refresh. What's that? Sorry. It's supposed to be functions, not header. That's a mistake. I need functions. Okay, so you can see that everything was updated successfully. So it means that if there is any product that is having this particular category number 2 that we're deleting at this particular moment, If there's any kind of that product, it has been updated and it has made to have the category of 1. So the second thing that I'm going to do is the properties of this category. Remember, there's another table of properties. So I'm going to update all their properties and also convert them to have the category of 1. So to do that, I'm just going to copy this very thing and paste it here and just modify it. Okay, so I'm going to get this table of of properties. Here, so I'm going to update the table of properties. So the data that I'm going to update is just only one thing: the category, the property category here, this one. So I'm going to set it property category to belong to the default category here. This is the data I'm going to, so it to belong also to 1, and I'm going to put the condition where the property category is equal to the category that I'm deleting. So that is the one that is going to check all the properties that I'm deleting. I mean, all the properties that are belonging to this category that I'm deleting at this particular time, they should have the property of 1 to the default. I'm going to assign them to the default properties, that we should not lose the data. Okay, so I'll come and refresh and see if things are still okay. Yes, things are still perfect. So that is done. Then after, I'll delete the photo of this property of this category, because if we don't leave it, then it will be there redundant. So to delete the photo, it means that we have to have the category first. So I have to select this category from database. So I already have this thing here on top. Where somewhere. We were doing it somewhere here. Yeah, I think where we're getting this category. So I'm just going to get this category at this point. So at this point, I'm just going to do it on top here to get the category that is that I want to delete. Okay, so the condition is going to be category ID equals the ID. Remember, here we're using the word ID, and I get this category. So I check if it is empty. I can die from here that the category was not found. Category not found. Okay, so in case it is empty, so it's not empty, then I'll know that I'll have this cat. Okay, so I'm going to dump this category here. Are you getting the point, Musa?
Yeah.
Why do I need this data first? Why am I selecting it from database?
You need to confirm first if you are actually deleting the right data.
No, that's not the reason I said. What I want to do, I want to delete this photo. Yes, that's good, but I want to delete the what? The photo. That's the main point here. Because if I don't delete this photo, it will remain there forever.
But still, are you not confirming that is the actual photo?
I don't mind about the confirmation, because you see, when I update here the product, did I get the confirmation? No. Here I just want to delete the photo. That's the main point, in case it has a photo. So I'll just check if is set. Of course, it will always be set. What? Category. Oh, shit. So I'm going to check for this photo if it is set. So if the category photo is set, and then the next thing I'll check if the of course it can be set while it is not existing. I can check if strlen of this category is greater than maybe 3, because there's no any file that cannot have less than 3. So if it's greater than 3, then I can know there's what? There's a category. There's a photo for this category. Like this. So after doing that, let me echo like deleting. I just confirm that it's time to delete. So I refresh. You can see deleting. So before I delete, I have to check if this file exists. Okay, so I'll have to know the main path or the folder. Where is the folder? The folder is called uploads. Of course, we defined it here. Uploads directory. So I'll come and get our directory. So the path will be the combination of folder and what? And the photo that you want to delete. So let me echo the path here and see if it is okay. Refresh. You can see the path is there that we want to delete. Okay, so I can check if the file exists. So I can say if file exists, and I put the path. Let me die here. Exists, and I'll die here. Does not exist. DNE. So I refresh. You see the file exists. So in this point, it is where I will only delete the what? The file. I'll remove this DNE. Even if it does not exist, I don't mind. Okay, so I'll delete the file by using unlink. Are you following? Musa, how do you delete?
So not sharing the screen.
And you're quiet.
Hey, I don't know what are you saying.
So I'm teaching myself.
Bro, you're not sharing the screen.
It's up to you. How do you delete a file in PHP? Which function do you use to delete a file? Huh?
Yeah, on link, bro. I know. I remember. On link. Yeah.
So if I do like that, the file will be deleted. If refresh, the file will not be existing. So that is the third thing. Then the last thing is to delete now the category itself. So I'm going to write the SQL for deleting. So the SQL for deleting is much more like of an update. Okay. So going to be delete. Time is over. Let me finish this part and then we'll get done with today's class. So I'll just copy this. Update. Deleting, and updating is just almost the same. So I'll copy this and now paste it here. Okay, we not need to delete it from the database. So it's going to be db delete. So receive the table. We don't need the data for the deletion. We just need the what? The condition. So it's going to be in case the table is too short. Data, we don't need the data. Condition, we need it. And then here, instead of update, we just need delete. Okay, we don't need these things of set. Okay, so I don't need this one. So instead of what update, we use just delete from the table, and then we have the condition. So not need this set, this logic of set, will not need it. And this thing of first point is reached or not, will not need it. So it's going to be delete from, and then have the condition which is having where the keys got that. Okay, you can see. So let me die with the SQL before I make sure it is operating. So it's going to be die okay. So I'm going to call this function of deletion db delete here. So once I finish deleting the file, I'll go ahead and delete. So it's going to be db delete. I'm going ahead and delete the what? The product name. The product itself from the database. The category itself from what? From the database. So it's much more like of an update. So I'll just copy this thing of an update and come and paste it here. The only difference is I'll remove this db delete and make it here. So it's going to be, we are going to delete from which category? From the category table. So I'll come to the database and make sure that I'm selecting the right name of the category. I want to delete now the category itself from the database. I hope we've updated the properties. Yes, the property, yeah, I've done the update. I've already done the update of properties. Okay, so we are going to delete from what? From the category, and then we have the what? We have the conditions. Here the condition, which is going to be only where the ID equal to 1. So I have to make sure that the category ID is having the same name. So where the category ID, so the condition for category ID is equal to the ID that we are deleting, and then we don't need the data, so we need only two things. I'll remove the data section. We need the table that we're deleting from, and the what? And the category that we want to delete. And the condition. So let me die with the SQL before I delete here. Okay, so I come and refresh. You can see delete from category where category ID is equal to 2. That is very good. So I'll remove the what? The die, and come here back to our file of deletion. Let me check if the response is okay. Echo the pre-tag and printer. Let us see if everything is okay. Refresh. See, data was updated successfully. So here it's now to be deleted, not updated. Deleted. Okay, data was deleted successfully. Failed to delete data. So that's it. Now we have to direct the what? The user. First of all, set the message. Are you having that thing of message somewhere? So I don't need even to check if as long as these steps, I'll know that it's just successful. So I just say product category was deleted successfully, and then I direct the user back to the product category. Okay, so that's all about the deleting. I'll remove this pre-tag. So that's all we need about the deleting. Okay, so you can pause the video and look at the code slowly by slowly. So that's it. Let's refresh now, and everything should be okay. Category not found. You see, our logic is working. Let's delete category number 3. You can see product category was deleted successfully. So in the next class, we'll begin from there. we'll look at deleting the properties of a certain category, and we proceed to the category, to the product itself. So that's enough for today, and make sure that you don't watch it like a movie, but you practice.